Well, I didn't go to school, eh? I was raised in the cab of a truck, grew up in the truck, educated myself in the truck. I'm self-educated.
Is that reading library books? Or?
And I worked for my dad most of my life. We built it up from when I started driving in I made a few loads in 59 to 1960. I went full time hauling logs, eh?
Okay.
And we had 2 trucks, 3 trucks, and then got more. My Uncle Stubb, Bjorkman, Muller Bjorkman, he was a driver, and Bill McGee on 2 Kenworths. They were 250s, eh?
Okay.
Horsepower,
Yeah.
Cummins,
Yeah.
them. And we had a 220, and so as time went on, we built her up, and we had a lot of trucks going, eh? We had about 8 trucks, I guess.
What logging roads were you operating on?
Well, we did most of the Swan.
Okay.
I think I'm about the first one to haul logs out of the East Fork here. It seemed like they were setting a new place. They sent me and set the rates on me, eh?
Okay. Based on how fast you could work? Or?
Yeah, and so anyway, when my dad died, everything, we had a logging outfit too. Cats, skidders, Prentice, 966 loader. I made the deal on the 966 in Cranbrook. And pinning, and we had a Prentice on a Kenworth, and couldn't get an operator. And I didn't want to run it, and the apprentice was slow, eh? So sold the loader to Herb Lurch in Golden. I wanted my brother to have it, and my dad said absolutely not, eh? And so the 40,000 we got out of the apprentice was the payout on the 966 rental purchase, eh? So we built up one heck of an outfit. Meanwhile doing this, I mostly hung around with the old timers. And back in 59, and I was in the camps with them. And yeah, with the old fellas, eh? And I met a lot of guys, eh? Like coming out of Finley Creek.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with
You been up there?
Beautiful, yeah, the waterfall.
Yeah, Joe Blake, the Blake family, they were draft dodgers.
Oh,
Yeah.
not uncommon in the area.
Yeah, and yeah, we were good friends with the Blakes, and they come into Canal Flats with the horses, binder twine, holding the pack saddles on, and it was kind of comical, eh, to see it. And myself, I was a real good friend of Joe's, one of his good friends, and he told me a lot, but Lester Canning, I think, was his best friend. It goes back, and they lived up the Finley, up the Doctor Creek, high, because all winter, and so that the American Army couldn't get them, eh?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and there was another fellow up there, Bill Weir, eh? He was a runaway guy he was Nova Scotian, eh, Bill? He was the same. But that's quite a story, too, on Bill. But anyway, as time went on, I got tired. Always takes one to bugger everything up. And I got mad and I quit the old man, and he didn't like that. He was madder than hell, and had a brother-in-law that called me down steady, and the old man was going to kill him. He was so mad sometimes, eh? And that's why I quit, because when I took him out, Dad told me, so you take him out and see if he can handle it. Well, he couldn't. He bought a car, and he got a light pole in the center, pushed her all in, and he's pulling on the, whoa, whoa, whoa. He come from Saskatchewan, eh? Horseman, eh? You can't do that with a truck, eh? And yeah, he got my album books. He stole them on me. But that's beside the point. When I come back, well, I was in the north. I did some flying up there. And I loved the float plane, eh? Yeah. I was on the DC-3 too, a little up there. Okay. And but I liked the floats. And then ask the guys, where do you want to go? What lake do you want to go? And Tony Delamore had the float plane. Well, I used to fly by the ass of my pants, you know. I was just here, and I love flying in the mountains here in the currents, up and down drafts, eh? And that's something that's a lot of fun if you know what you're doing, eh?
Yeah, we watched a plane take a glider up. We're staying at the Canada.
Yeah.
Right beside the airport there.
Oh, yeah.
So up north, I got on a float plane, and a doctor owned it. He said, I like that. Him and his wife were both doctors, eh? And flying people around and fishing, and oh, what a life, eh? And the old man wouldn't leave me alone. I had to come back home. Larry, I got 4 more new Kenworths in Penticton. You got to come home. And I need you. Then he asked me one time, you got to come home. And I was working for a guy by the name of Ernie Galobi up on the highway to Farrell, doing the road up there, eh? And that was funny. I thought that was really comical. He says, yeah, I need a loaderman, and I'll put you on night shift until you know what you're doing. I said, oh, you don't have to worry about that. Well, I got the low bed driver on day shift, and he knows what he's doing. So he's got to run low bed, and so leave you on night shift for about a week. And if I remember right, Ernie's name was Globy, Ernie Globy. And so the next night, you're not night shift, he says. You're going day shift. I had to bring another cat in to push into the crusher. I told him. I loaded.
Hold on a sec. They don't bite.
I got a adapter.
Here, use this. So anyway, I went on day shift, and I was moving the trucks out about a minute to load them, eh? The way I had them stacked, eh? Have them side by side, and a full bucket, 980, or 980, yeah, 980 I think it was. A full bucket, then a half a bucket. Truck would go, I'd go ahead, drop the half a bucket, swing, grab another bucket, drop it in. The other truck, that's the way it went, eh? And the guy up there that had a couple trucks of his own, Tina, He couldn't even pack water for Tina. He was just a terrible. And Ernie asked me, he said, "Are you leaving because of him?" And I said, "No, my mom had a heart attack." I lied, eh? I didn't want to cause troubles, and I left. But his own boy, got killed up there, fell off the tractor, and the packer ran over him, eh? That was a sad deal. And Ernie was one of the best, nicest men you'd ever meet in your life, eh? And I felt bad, but the old man was after me. "You gotta come home. I got 4 more new trucks. You gotta come home." Got to come home. Then I was fighting like John. I just couldn't take him, eh? Always. Geez, it was terrible. And when I took him out and tried him out, about 2 miles, and I thought he was going to tear the rear ends out or the transmission out of the truck. I couldn't talk to him. I could not talk to him. He knew everything. He's that kind of a fella, eh? And he wanted to go so bad on it. Is it okay if I talk about this?
Of course, yeah. I was just looking at her because that's me sometimes.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it was quite a deal at the shop there in Canal Flats, and the old man come over, and you and Tina go out and find some drivers. So Tina and I went out and found a couple of drivers, or tried to, and it was a sad deal what John did there. So we had no drivers, eh? And every truck he drove, he wrecked it. Everybody won. And, well, a year before he died, the old fella, he said, "Larry, we're in trouble. We're going to lose our insurance. Another accident or 2 and we're done." So, anyway, he changed the will over, and I had a half-sister, and my oldest, well, the next sister to me, she was married to John, and that was a hell of a deal, that will deal, eh? Everything was will to me. Well, I guess so. Spent my bloody life. But, and so they couldn't stand it. And Dad gave me orders what to do. Like my brother, he didn't want him in the outfit. I said, "Okay, when you're gone, then I'm going to bring Gary in." I brought him into the mine. Him and Myrna destroyed that. Totally destroyed it on us. I gave him lots of shares too, and I had some good people. Manny DeVoe, Wilders, Bill Lake, Billy Ma, the Chinese fella, Top 4 restaurant. We had, I think, 13 partners. We were on the stock market. And I owned it.
What was the name of the company?
Huh?
What was the name of the company?
Top 4.
Top 4?
Top 4 mining.
Okay.
And I was responsible for the whole thing, eh? Then they went, and Gary and Myrna went and changed the orders. We got a drill up there, and like this. They're supposed to drill down, and they drill through. So Bill and I, or DeVoe and I, had to go to Cranbrook for permits. And we got back, and the orders were to go down. So we get back up there, and I asked the driller, "How come you're not drilling?" "It's drilled." "I'll show you." I looked, and I could see blue sky. Honest to God. Well, then there's a problem, eh? That costs lots of money. And everybody was mad and that. And when that happened, that was the end of it, because somebody let the cat out of the bag. The hole was no good, eh?
Okay.
So the shareholders bailed out right now. So I had no choice. But then I had to do the cleanup, eh? And We're a lot of bad people, eh? And we had some good partners, really great partners. So, yeah, I lost a lot of money on that.
Where were you drilling? Whereabouts were you drilling?
It was up on the Dr. Creek,
I won't ask you where.
Laverton Prairie up. You could look up and see it. So that was one deal I lost a lot of money on. And yeah, then on the company, H&E, Dad wanted me to go to the bar with him. Our whole family was like that, you know. And so I went over with him and had a couple beers with him. And he gave me orders what he wanted. And I said, okay. And he said, absolutely no, Gary and Myrna, because the Myrna, he had her by the ass and the pants and the back and the neck and threw her out of the office. Twice. Well, I hired Gary to run the bugaboo, the logging. The old man was mad. And I said, I want him to have a chance. I want him to have something. And so Friday night, the bank would come into Canal Flats, eh? Payday.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Gary come down from the bugaboos, went home, and they never showed up at the office. And Gail was waiting for him, the bookkeeper, eh? Dad. So Dad phoned down. Myrna says he can't come up now. I have to have the time the guys want their pay. Well, I'll bring it up. The old man says, no, you won't. It's just terrible, eh? The way she was. Selfish and greedy. She sold the house on Dad. Jesus, Dad just hated her. The family house, eh? I guess she sold it for $5,000. Well, when all this stuff is going on, when Dad did die, he told me, I'm giving in the will, Blue Boy, that's one truck, the last new one John got. He didn't have a chance to wreck it yet. And the trailers are in Calgary for it. Well, so I don't care myself, personally myself. I can see Myrna, I'm going to sue him. That's the way she was, eh? Always. Sue me all she wants. But the funny part about this is I was in the Sally in Cranbrook, and a girl comes in, grabs a coffee, and I just knew it, eh? Mm-hmm. And she come over and asked some questions, and I just told her the truth. I don't care. And I'm telling you guys the truth. I don't care. But why I'm doing that, they left me broke. Flat ass broke. Tina and I had horses and our daughter. And when Dad died, it was a tough one. And I wanted time, a week or two, to clear the clouds, okay? So I knew what I was doing and that. And Gail, the bookkeeper, was there to help me. She was a witness and the whole thing to the deal. Well, I said, Darlene come up to me, my oldest sister, and she says, oh, Dad left you everything, eh? Really snotty. I said, well, Darlene, it's like this. When the dust clears, we'll talk it over. You're in there. I'll make sure that you're going to get something. So the will was on the dash of Dad's pickup, blue pickup, the new will. And on the 18th, I was on the Tenley hauling gravel up there. We were doing the road. And Dad come out, and I tried to get away early so I didn't have to be there, eh? So he's waiting for me. I want to talk to you over the office. Go over there. He couldn't open the door. Couldn't open the door with the key. He was so sick, eh? I'm got to sit in the truck. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to Cranbrook today. Okay, you want me to come along? No, not really. It's okay. I'm going to go and stick $1 million into your mom's bank account. Okay. So, in 79, 80.
Yeah.
79, 80. Tina and I was in 79, I guess. Across the Skookumchuck Bridge, going up the hill, and he says, well, there, we can have anything we want now. We got her. It was over $1 million in the bank. Now, that money come from his brother when Uncle Earl died. Uncle Earl ran away from home when he was a kid, and he joined the services, eh? Army, Air Force, Navy, and then he went on to government man. I guess that's what called a spy. He was in Germany cooking too, eh?
Cooking.
Yeah, a cook in Germany. And,
Yeah.
he never spent 5 cents of his own money. It was all government cards and stuff, you know, what he run on, eh? And Dad got that. Uncle Ed, Dad's brother, H&E. Ed, in 57, Eddie was hauling short logs off of Camp 1, 1957. I'm positive it was 57 and that. And he had enough, Uncle Ed. He wanted out of the trucking.
Yeah.
Single axle truck, eh? And they were horse logging. And so Dad bought him out. And Eddie wanted Dad to buy, so Dad bought him a brand new Dodge car. Then Eddie went to work. Yeah, that's about the right date. Because Eddie went to work in Camp 5 up the Kootenays, piling lumber. Then he didn't like that. He was too hard on him, eh? And so Dad took him back. And so the company was built on H&E Rotvold Trucking. That's how that went. And I was the third partner, the silent partner, believe it or not. Well, I was with Dad. If I wasn't with Dad, I was with Uncle Ed or Uncle Stub in the truck, eh? Yeah. And, well, anyway, the old man cashed her in. 22nd, I guess it was. And I said, we're not going to do nothing for a week or two until I get straightened out myself, eh? Well, when we come back down from Queen Mary with the horses, I wonder what the hell's going on. The shop was open. Lauren Granger in there working and different, and they're shortly finishing moving the back axles ahead on the Blue Boy, getting her ready for John, eh? Terry stole the wheel, my sister, out of the Dad's pickup, lied to Mom. So, Mom and Eddie come over, and John, well, there's none of John's business. That was between Mom and Eddie and me, eh? And Mom didn't know Dad had put that money in her bank account. She never knew that. And Terry lied to her, and Darlene lied to her. So Terry and John told Mom, he says, we're going to have to buy you out because Dad was ready to lose the outfit. Well, geez, it was a good thing I wasn't there to hear that. And so we're going to buy you out. We'll give you $200,000, and we'll give Eddie $200,000. Well, Eddie was a third partner. He wasn't in 50. He was a third. Dad told me that several times. But it don't matter. He helped build it up. So Terry and John gives his Mom a check for $100,000. Now this is from Gary. Gary told me nobody would tell me nothing. And I went after Gary. And he says, yeah, he had Harvey Gansner for a lawyer. So, what a bloody can of worms. So, we'll buy you out and give you a check for $100,000. Mom signs it. Terry puts it in her own bank account. Then a little while later, she writes out another check, the same thing. And they give Eddie $200,000. And they give Eddie a bunch of BS that I was against them and everything, you know. No, He was my favorite uncle. I was with him all the time. I grew up with him. And it was Myrna that was the biggest cause of the biggest problem. And I mean it. I'll die for this. This is no BS. Gee, I said to Gary, you tell her to stay the hell out of it. So, went to court. I was sitting there. I said to Butenhagen, I never got no letter. I got nothing. I never heard a bloody word, eh? And asked Gary. He wouldn't tell me nothing. So Tina and I went into town and went to the courthouse, and I phoned Ron Butenhagen. Yeah, I'm going to tell the way it was. And Butenhagen, I got a hold of Butenhagen. Well, I'm in Creston. Okay, what's going on? Well, you got to go to Neil Robertson's office and give him an affidavit. Okay, but I'll be there and I'll go with you. So we left the courthouse, going across the park at Robertson's office, and he says to me, sit down, Larry, I got to talk to you. I said, okay, what's up? You let Neil Roberts win this estate deal, and he'll let you win Rocky Mountain deal. Rocky Mountain deal took my truck, eh? My own personal truck. When I went into Crestbrook, the boss, the main man, the big man, when I walked through the door with Bobby Ruhalt, he says to me, well, welcome home, Larry. And when I was going into the office, they were all congratulating me. I never had one accident, and I pulled my loads, and on the Hubenoff fall out of the Lucier, well, enough is enough. You leave home, go up there, get a load, up the Lucier, Cranbrook, back, up there, get a load, Canal Flats, back up. This is Boucher's BS, eh? And he wanted 2 loads to Cranbrook, 2 loads to Canal Flats, and I wouldn't do it. It's too much. I got a broken back, that much of my spine, I got bone missing out of it and everything, eh? I used to lay on the goddamn cement floor to do brakes and stuff. Tina was with me all the time. And, oh man, what a goddamn deal. So, Butenhagen, he stole my 350 John Deere loader, and he stole my truck. He stole a bunch of stuff. I'm doing everything, all kinds of stuff, eh? Build trailers, sell them, I keep busy doing it. And there's very damn few people that's going to pack water for Tina. She's a hell of a swamper. Well, I went with Butenhagen over there, and Robertson asked me a bunch of questions. I answered them. Truthfully, of course. And I told Tina, took Mum 3 times a day to Cranbrook. I come home and she's in front of the mirror, combing her hair and crying. I don't want to go, I had enough. And here's Rita with the horses. And I'd stop for coffee, get a thermos at 3 o'clock. I had to go back for a load. And I'd say, well, come on with me, Rita. And she wouldn't do it. And here's Tina. And I told Dad. And, well, you tell Tina, I'll talk to her, he said. She's not doing for nothing. She's on the payroll. All of her money is going into the company because you two own it. See? Well, Terry and Johnny. Johnny, I'm sure it was him that went into the bank and drew Mum's money million out, okay? Give it to his daughter Melinda. And she's in Blairmore?
I think so. Something like that.
Over there before Calgary.
Yeah, we got a friend in Coleman.
Coleman?
Yeah, right near there.
Going by Banff, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so Melinda got the money. Johnny told me that. He told me that. But when I left Neil Robertson's office, why I did it is because Neil Roberts, I met him on the stairs going up in the third, up in the courthouse, and he told Tina, push him down the stairs. Yeah. What a god darn jerk, eh? I should have grabbed him by the body's throat, and I was strong enough in that, and smashed his face for that. But can't do it. I'd end up in jail for manhandling a dummy. I'll call him a dummy. And, God damn. So anyway, I drove around the block, went back into Robertson's office, and I said to the secretary, I forgot my copy. Oh, wait a minute, Larry, she says, I'll run and see if I can find it. No, I can't find it, she says. But I'll make you a photocopy of the new one. Okay. She gave me that. I drove around the block and I went into Keith McLean's office. I knew Keith really well. I said, Keith, well, you're reading this out to me. Started reading. You didn't say this, did you? I said, no. You didn't say that, did you? He switched it all around, eh? Terry never took Mum, I don't think, to town once. She was Suckle and then Johnny's mum. Always with her and that. Well, it was funnier than hell, eh? I've been in the Royal Bank here in the last 2 years, 2 or 3 times, raising total hell about my safety deposit box, okay? It had over $1 million in it. Dad, you know, mine. And they took that. Boucher has given money away and everything and that. And Mr. Trucker, he calls, grabs the gear and this and that. Just about there's the transmission out. One more accident and it was over. So he went and bought that new Kenworth low bed, you know, and Mr. Big Shot on my money and the whole thing. And loaded 2 D5s on. Now, I never saw it, but coming through Crescent and Overpass, he wrecked both the overpass, wrecked both cats, eh? Well, that was the end of the insurance, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
And Jesus, what a guy. And he said I was going to shoot him. Didn't have to. Well, I told, they took my guns for a year, you know, never mind. And that's when I come down from Queen Mary. I went over, what the hell's going on? I said, I'm taking my truck and going to haul in the morning. No, you're not. He hired Chris Wanger to drive my truck, eh? What the hell's going on? And I said, no. And he hit me. Yep, and he smacked me. So you give me a shot, I'll give you a goddamn shot back, eh? Yeah. And Terry run in and called the cops. Larry's going to shoot you on.
Oh, wow.
So the cops come down and threw me in jail. Then went to court. And I told the judge, why would I shoot him? That's stupidness. And I can't name the Mountie's name. We were friends. And he knew what was going on. But you think he would speak up? He pulled out. I guess can't get involved in a personal deal like that. But anyway, but in that time, all about the family deal, Terry gave what Gary told me. See, Gary lost a court case, and he owed Boucher $100,000. So then the money that you operate now, here's them. This is from Dad. Dad told me, Larry, you don't have to worry. I'm gone. You got enough. You can break the outfit 4 or 5 times, totally break it, and you're still in business. But remember, there's enough money in there right now in the operating account for fuel, wages. That's for the bush crew and the truckers, eh? So there's lots of money there for that. And, Jesus, eh? I walked out of there broke. Dad took me and Tina into Cranbrook. He says, where do you want to get a pickup? He wanted me to get a decent pickup, eh? And I didn't need it, but this is what he wanted. So we go to Kimberley, Melody Motors. Okay, that's good enough. So they made a mistake. They said to Dad, and Mr. Rotvold, how do you figure on paying for this? And the old man said, what are you talking about? You keep your truck. So we went into Cranbrook, and he phoned when we left there, and yeah, okay, Henry, we'll have it ready for you. And went in, and here's this new pickup. There was a white one and a tan-colored one. What color do you want? I was well, tan would be okay. And but they didn't know I was paying for it. It was out of the company, eh? Yeah. Now, the company was mine. Yeah. So anyway, Terry told Arlene, Gary said he gave her $200,000 to buy Butch McGee's house in Canal Flats and to keep her mouth shut. And she was with Bob Marshall, Darlene. And John and I find out here, well, the other day, last week, talking to a fellow, I won't say his name, And he called me over and wanted to know how Rita was doing because he bought a horse off Rita, eh? And we sat there and BS for a long time, and he was telling me a whole lot of stuff, eh? And all it did was stir up the pot and made me cranky, eh? And but I'll honestly say, I'm not religious, but I'm a strong believer. The old man was with us once, and and every night, I think of him every day. I cannot shake it, and it's because what they did to him. You know, there's not even anything at all on him. He supplied a lot of work and money for Canal Flats. The shop, the whole thing is mine. Yeah, a while ago when I was down there, I said, see what they're building on my property? And it is. I never got screwed right out of it. And 2 lots, my own personal private lots, okay? They took that. They claimed me right out. And Boucher laughs out at me. And so in Cranbrook, in the mall, shopping, whatever, I run into them. And I like to catch them at the cash register, eh? And I don't care. They can kill me, do what they want. But I honor my mom and dad and uncle. And I say to John, how are you going to pay for your order here? Are you paying with my money, my mom's money you stole, my dad's money you stole? How are you going to pay for this, eh? And I had him one day there, he wouldn't walk out, he had his order sitting there and he would not walk up the door. He was terrified.
Waiting for you to go first.
Huh?
Waiting for you to go first.
So anyway, all of this stuff. I was up here, okay, that's enough of H&E. And as far as I went to Invermere. I had enough of Myrna calling me down. People in Cranbrook telling me, eh, what's she saying in that? So I let it go, and finally I had enough of it. And I told her, I went up to the Invermere and I told her, if I push this, you're going to go to jail. Oh, you should have seen her. And Dad bought me a set of snap-on tools, a special deal for me, okay? The old man was pretty proud of me, what I done. I had a radio and television ticket. I got one of the best pilot licenses going. I did it on my own, but I had to work like hell to get it, I'll tell you that. Pretty proud of what I did, eh? I was endorsed for lots, oh yeah. Well, yeah. So I said to Dad, Munroe Lake, there's not too many lakes left around. And he says, we've had a talk, and he wanted me to do the permit, get Whitetail Lake, eh? So Millie did all the paperwork up, Ed signed it, Dad signed it, and I just had to sign it. And then we're going to go up to Finley and Frying Pan Creek, and there was a bunch of big spruce up there. Dad walked in and had a look. I wanted him to go in with me on the horse. He wouldn't do that. He walked in, and he wanted this stuff, and I wouldn't go for it, because I wanted him and me to do something on our own, eh? And I had nothing against Eddie. Never would have. But anyway,
Do you know who took the trees out here? Across the other side of the lake?
anyway,
You mean up there?
Yeah.
I don't know who logged that.
I always kind of wondered.
so I gotta think I'm talking so much. I'm.
Forget what you're saying.
Coming back around the end.
Oh yeah. Well, Whitetail Lake. I knew if somebody took it over, it would be turned into a cesspool. What I figured. Dad wanted us to have it, and I wasn't really into that part. And it was one of the last lakes that was, not a bunch of people around, and that Benson's took it and they destroyed it. You can't even get a bloody boat in there now. You have to have pay for it, eh? And it's a bunch of the government. Well, this place here, down the road there where the fire was, the first fire up in the top there, I remember the guys that was on the fire. And it was a hell of a fire, but Harold Barber was on the grocery truck, bringing up to the camp, eh? And I was on there with him swamping. And that was back about 55, I think, that fire. I'm sure it was around 55, 56. So Harold, the way he was, every mile post, he'd have a case of sardines or a case of tomato soup or something for himself, eh? It was kind of cute, eh? And from the end of the road that time, we walked in to hear a little bit of a walk. And Billy Stork's cabin over there, I'm positive it was Billy Stork's cabin, what I heard from the old timers, okay? Well, it's probably down now, but it was up in pretty good shape then. And walking here in the winter and that, and I could see this would be a nice place, out of the way and not too much traffic, eh? So I said to Dad, I'd like to do something with it. He says, go ahead. So I brought the 7 up, not the 7, the hell did the... Anyway, I ended up with our gravel truck, backhoe, loader, and the cat. I started putting it in that hole there, double load of gravel in there, and it would just disappear. The whole road, right out to the other road. So we did it and did it and did it, and I went and asked Harry Myers if I could... Oh,
Tipsy. Should have something better.
asked Harry Myers if I could have their gravel truck, and Uncle Roy Stapleton, Mom's sister's husband. Roy, he was just one prince of a man. Come up with that truck, and then Lloyd Ferguson, the grader man, eh? Fergie was one heck of a good guy. So they come up and spent a couple of weekends with me. Yeah, and we put a lot of gravel in here, eh? A lot of work, eh? And down, and over there, you see that one tree that's leaning a bit?
Yep.
Up there? On that tree, our names are on that. And put it with the power saw.
Oh, really?
Then after a while, when that part was good enough, then Tina and I and Rita come up here weekend after weekend and just work and cut the brush. I couldn't even see you through the brush. It was so bad, eh? cut it and pull the roots and burn it and get rid of it. And so we did the 3 campgrounds, okay? That was us that did all the work here. Well, that's nice. People come up, enjoy it, and mainly I like to see the kids here. But I might be in bad books with Elkford, which I don't care. They come over the hump. I don't know what the rod and gun is or the fisheries are sticking in this lake for fish, how many a year. But you go out there now and you get little ones. Okay? What they put in this spring, Elkford will fish it out this winter.
Really?
Then next spring you start over again. There's nothing for the kids. Nothing for nobody. That's not fair. And Elkford just comes up and uses it. I haven't seen one. Well, I did here about a week ago. There was 3 guys from Elkford here, and they were really nice gentlemen. They're real nice people. And they split some wood for us, helped out, and that. And yeah, they were nice. And I'm not against them fishing, but I don't want to fish. I want some fish for the summer for the kids. And I think it's my business because we built it. We did the whole thing, eh? I didn't do it for Elkford. I did it for the kids. I don't care if they're from Hong Kong or where they're from. It's for the kids. That's why Tina and I did it. And I made it known, leave them 2 trees alone over there. Those 2 together. Okay? There's a balsam there on the right and a spruce. And they're off the same root. And it's kind of hard to believe, eh? But this isn't going to go too much longer. See that tree there? See how it broke off?
Yep.
It's butt rot. You look at all the stumps here down. It's butt rot. And the trees are so tall, when the wind blows, they'll just break off. If
From people?
Huh?
Is that from people taking the bark off?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're chopping them and destroying them. Why? And when we come up, no birds again. Big hunters, eh? Big hunters. Gotta shoot a bloody chickmunk or a bird.
Yeah.
So they'll come up here and do that, eh?
Ah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Now you can see we got a bunch of chickmunks. And we might have some birds back. We got 4 robins comes once in a while to get worms in that, eh? We've got a rabbit. What else we got? We got a deer. We got, what do you call it, a little mole or what is it?
Yeah, like a little mouse.
Okay.
We got one of them, eh? Cute little fella, boy, can he ever go?
Entertainment around here.
Well, pretty
But you know, I want to go back to, Dad bought me a set of snap-on tools. And I said, I don't need them. I got lots of tools. No, you're going to need them here. So when the snap-on truck come up, he bought me a whole set. Well, when they pulled what they did in Canal Flats, I knew if I stayed around, somebody would die. I was so pissed off, eh? And I left my tools. I was going to go get them. And Gary and Myrna's boy, Todd, he goes up there. I'm here to get my grandpa's tools, or you guys are going to pay for them. He didn't even know my dad. I don't think he ever went and visited or said hello to Dad once. I'm not kidding you. That was Myrna. Myrna had it in for the old man because he grabbed her by the ass of the pants and the back of the neck, eh? That's the way she was. She had to be a boss. Try to A bad thing to pull on the old man because he was a Norwegian and he meant it, what he said. Well, look what he built up. Yeah. And that's what now Tina and I are up here again. We've been here since the 5th, eh? Cleaning up. Straightening up. I did a bunch of work with the power saw and roots, and we're doing all kinds of stuff. Now my battery's gone in my pickup, so I gotta, and that one on the ground is gone, but I fixed that up in a hurry.
No worries. Do you need a charge before I leave?
No, I got the generator there, and
Oh, okay.
but the batteries won't take a charge. I got an extra one in the trailer, and I got one in the boat, eh? So
Yeah.
gives me something to do.
Yeah. So how long do you guys come up here for, generally? A couple of weeks? Or?
Yeah, well, I've got a chickmunk behind you, and we got a robin just up
Sometimes
there.
it's a week or 2 weeks, or like we went home for 2 days, then we come back up. Left everything here. Set up snow.
But we've met some pretty nice people. And I give them, really nice people. And I give them the Munroe Lake Grand Tour, eh?
And what's that? Do you walk around the lake, or?
No. Show them the trees and tell them about the bears and that. Do you know anything about the grizzlies?
No.
Well, when they were walking in, a fella, there was three guys, and the old grizzly got a hold of one here and killed him. Then the second one, he got an awful licking too. And the third one, he lived, but he took his pocket then watching through it. Then she couldn't hear him, eh? No ticking. She left him alone, but she dug a hole and buried him. He lived. That was a miracle. Now, the fourth one was her. I backed the pickup up here, step out of the camper on the table and off the end, eh? But same place, fire. And so I got up in the morning. I thank the Lord I didn't bring my gun, eh? I got up in the morning, we come out, lit the fire, wandered down to the lake, had a good look around. Okay. Jesse gets up. Can I put wood on the fire, Grandpa? I said, okay. But you stay where I can see you. She gets up. She wanders down here, straight down to the water. Then she wandered up the lake a little bit, right behind you, eh, on the shore. Then she started up the trail. That big spruce over there, that big one.
Yep.
She got there, and that big old sow grizzly, she come out and after Tina. And Tina gave the death scream, and the grizzly had her mouth open. All she had to do was go like that, close her mouth, and she had Tina. And I seen it. I run and jumped off the table, grabbed the axe, went for her, and I'm hollering at him, get under the pickup, get under the pickup. I knew I would die, but they would live, okay? I knew that. But I guess that's the way it is. You protect your own, eh? And, well, when I went after her, Tina went by me. She stopped. Me to you, not far from me. And I had the axe, and she looks. And she turned around and started to walk away, and she looked back, and just as much to say, you have fun with your kids and I'll have fun with mine. Well, I gave you a pretty good look at Tina Rotvold Trucking.
Yeah.
And the other truckers, there was, like I name them all, that hauled up here, and Pete Hubanoff logged up here, and well, you know what I mean, eh? It's the way it was.
So you would have a different relationship with the forest, I would think. Like, you're cutting it down, but you love it at the same time. Is there like a cognitive dissonance? Like, is it hard to hold both the values? Like, I want to log, but I also want to keep things nice.
Well, there's nothing here to log or mill for wood, because it's all rotten.
Okay.
Hey.
That might save it.
It's all rotten, you know. It's
Yeah, I look at it and I see something idyllic, but I don't walk through the forest and go, what's happening here and there.
yeah.
That's interesting. Oh, I should ask you a question. I think I'm going to ask everybody the question, but what is a Canadian to you?
What is what?
A Canadian.
What is a Canadian?
Yeah. What do you think a Canadian is?
My personal opinion, born here, worked here, built the country up, like the valley here, hard workers, loggers, the old Thai days and everything, and that. As far as I'm concerned, Canadians is not Canadians coming from across the ocean here and taking over and telling me what the hell to do. No way. I was born and raised here and worked my ass off here for years. And nobody across the ocean's going to come here and start ordering me around.
That makes sense.
And there's lots of us the same way. But there's a lot of guys got no guts to speak up. They gotta hide, eh? It's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
No, if we wanted, I think we all knew, if we wanted a big boom here, everybody would have had lots of kids. They kept the kids down, so we wouldn't overpopulate, and we'd have a place, because we could look ahead and see what's going on in different places, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, they're in there just like ants.
Yeah, we say that a lot. Yeah, we like to get out of the city just because it's so hectic. That
Yeah.
Yeah, the energy, you just feel like you're vibrating because it's like, there's no quiet times anymore.
Yeah, we couldn't take that.
Yeah.
Like,
And
quiet.
and there's lots. There's some come up here. I don't want to say nothing. They're here, for Christ's sake, talk English.
Yeah,
Join us.
we
A
understand.
lot of the East Indians figure we're against them. They're against themselves. They don't want to get along. They just want to, seems like to us, they just want to push us out of the way and take over.
Yeah, they could be the next wave of people to come through or to populate the area. It's possible, right?
I'm not being mean, I'm just, all my life, I have somebody, no, I'd rather be dead.
Been told what to do.
It's-
You're okay.
If the country don't smarten up, there's going to be a bloody war, I think.
Yeah. You think so?
Oh, yeah.
In Canada?
Yeah.
I think the United States maybe there's a chance. I think we're a little better off here.
I see, I won't say who, but I see people going in Canadian Tire, buying a rifle and a case of bullets. Not a cart, not a box of bullets, the case.
What do they need that for? Target practice?
Well, the ones that come up here and shooting off the birds and killing everything off, if they're caught doing it, don't play around. Give them a $200 fine or a $500 one. Now put that in your pipe.
Yeah. Totally. Are there any rules back here regarding that?
Who?
Are there any rules back here about?
Moose?
No
Rules.
rules. About firearms or anything.
Well, you've got the game wardens.
Okay.
I try to avoid all that. Stay right out of it.
Just leave the guns at home.
Let them fight it out and do what they want. But I can speak my opinion a bit.
No, I appreciate you doing so. I appreciate that. It's hard to get people to be honest with that. You know what I mean?
If you're going to come up here and that, as far as that goes, anywhere. Look at Columbia Lake now. Where do you put a boat in? You put a boat in at the Canal Flat dock, okay? You got to pay.
Oh, yeah. Elias hates this. Yeah,
Okay.
launch fees, right?
Years ago,
Yeah. It's like charging a parking fee or something.
Yeah.
years ago, we had a cat driver. His name was Carl Leibstrom. He was my dad's friend growing up. And the old man made sure Carl had a job, and he was on the cat. Arnold Quinn and the lead masters, Glenn and Bob Leadmaster, they were logging, this is back in the 50s, logging up on the Skookumchuck. And then after a while, they come down, they went up the Kootenay to 9 Mile. Well, they were up at Camp 2. Then they come down to 9 Mile and logging across there, and they had horses, skinned with horses. And then the cats were coming. So they had a bridge there, and I think it was a D6, or it could have been, yeah, it wasn't an Elvis Chalmer 6. Bridge give out, and next thing you know, a little bit of the cat is sticking out of the river, Sunker, Well, Arnold Quinn, I known him good, and Bob Leadmaster, his wife come from Toronto, and she was a school teacher. That was 1956, because he bought her a brand new pickup, 1956 Ford pickup.
Want a pop?
Oh, we're okay. We have to go somewhere.
And anyway, then Arnold went the bookkeeper for the sawmill in Canal Flats. Well, I knew Arnold for years, Grew up with him, And I asked him, I heard he owned the land that was down where Wilders got it on Columbia Lake. But Arnold owned that. The Wilders wanted to make a switch. So Arnold did that. And he owned the Armstrong closer to Canal Flats, The old Rod and Gun Beach and the old forestry dock. So no place to put a boat in. Road no good. So I talked to Dad. Well, you talk to Arnold. So I talked to Arnold. Is it okay if I put a road in down there so we can get our boats in and that? You go ahead, Larry. He says, you do what you have to do. And the Bond boys tried it. Well, they couldn't do it. Well, got Arnold down there. Arnold got Carl Lindstrom down there on the 7, and it was the 7. And put a new road on. Instead of going up to Gaspy's or up to Camp 1, go straight through, eh? And down. We had to put a culvert in the creek. Went a little ways, then we down a big valley, eh? Like on, put a nice road in, nice grade and everything. And got down to the beach. Now we could have swung off and went to the right to the beach, but we went across the slough, or the swamp, and put the culvert in, eh? Got it all fixed up, so we could go there and unload, and we'd have a, a nice place to swim for the kids and the whole thing and that. And a nice creek. It turned out nice. We had lots of nice sand and small gravel and that to filter the water, eh? Oh, it was beautiful. And then the next thing I know, I'm in trouble. I'm getting sued for doing it. I couldn't believe it. I went down to Arnold and I said to Arnold, "Do you know what's going on?" "No." "You don't know you're suing me, eh?" "No." The other guys that tried it, they couldn't do it. They were jealous and starting BS stories, eh? But they were the first ones to put their beer in the creek because it was ice cold. So I've been involved in a few things.
Is that road still there today?
The road?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't keep it up. They never kept it up. Because from Watercress Creek up, I guess he just let his stuff in, eh? Guy could go in there. Well, he'd have to have a cat now to open it back up, eh? But it'd be nice to have a place like that wild, okay? People could go in there and look at the sheep and put their boats in and have a swim. And
Sorry, you know this guy? Have you seen these before?
No, that's the first one I've seen it.
So it has that big
here, Tina,
stinger.
go get it and see what the hell it is. Put it over him before you do anything.
It lays its eggs in the bark, and it needs that
Oh, yeah.
to get in there. Yeah. I was working at Louise one summer, and I was at there's a little booth there, and we were letting cars up to the resort or sending them to the lot.
Yeah.
And this poor lady pulls up, and one of those just goes right into her car, and she just froze. And I opened up the car door slowly, and I saw it right there, and I just took my clipboard and
Well,
and then I picked it up, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, unreal!" Yeah, they don't sting; they just.
That's a big.
Exactly.
as you do.
Yeah, they're pretty like intimidating,
Yep.
but they don't sting you.
I got some fly hooks
Yeah,
like
that would
that.
look just like that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you betcha.
Yeah, you can put it well over there. Wasn't it?
An awful stinger on it.
So I was away from here 5 years, eh? Approximately 5 years, and started coming back. And I wanted to see what was going on up here. And if they're looking after it, which I figure was my business, because I put it in, Tina and I and Rita, and see how it is and making sure. I don't care about the grown-ups. The kids come up here and they have one heck of a time over there. You know, they wouldn't even, when I did it, I went in the water up to my neck there to get trees, eh? To pull them up on the shore
Okay.
and get them out so you could get a boat in there. Put two over to the side there, and I figured somebody's going to come, definitely going to come and buck them up and burn it. No, they'd rather trip and fall on it, and they just left it. And the miracle part is, maybe the Lord didn't want them to do it, because if they did it, it would have been opened up, and they would have had the buggies and crap in there and tearing her up, and you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
like that big hole on the other side.
Yeah.
The game warden come up here one time and he said to me, Larry, do you know anything about them trailers over there? I said, no. Nothing. I don't know nobody. Okay, he says, I'm going to go and give them all a ticket. It's a special frog ground, eh? And there are signs up too. And they go pull in there, and they're lucky because it's a slough, it's a swamp, it's a snow bottom. Pull the trailer in there, they might have to live in it there for till it falls down, eh? And get stuck.
So we saw toads back
Yeah,
there,
little
toads
things.
all over the place.
Little frogs and
Yeah.
so,
Is
yeah.
that what they're protecting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And over there, like Tina and I, we haven't seen frogs there for a long time.
Dried right up.
Oh,
Not the
yeah.
same as they used
Not-
to be.
They can't live in it,
It
right?
was
Oh,
nice to see that, you know,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden everybody started driving in there, rutting it up. And
Yeah, I got a pretty good memory, eh?
Fantastic, sir.
I got one hell of a memory. One of our friends that turned out to be a friend, well, a half-ass friend. He come from Vancouver Island, Qualicat Beach, eh? His name was Philip Morley, and we call him Pip. He walked 3 llamas all the way from there to Canal Flats. They picked him up in the park for bringing a foreign species. I guess what he said, the quarantined the llamas and threw him in jail, eh?
Oh, no.
And they finally got it straightened out, and they hauled him to the park boundary up on the Settlers Road at Baradium, eh? And then Pip took off with his llamas coming down, and he run into Dorothy Matson's place, and he spent some time with Dorothy, and she was a loner, a cowgirl. She used to pack in the mountains hunting, eh? And he spent some time there and got some fresh bread, and away he went back down, and he crossed the river somewhere. I don't know where it was. He didn't say where it was. But one of the llamas went down and broke its neck. So he butchered it. He got a bunch of steak, eh? Oh, he had fresh bread and steak.
not wasted.
He walked in the Canal Flats, and somebody sent him over to me. Well, they were always doing that anyway. So we met him, and there's a good story about the wood stove on him. You won't believe. And at that time, my nerves were stuck right out. Just like I could see through rock, eh? Like looking at the last corner, I could tell if there was somebody coming around the corner or not. I didn't have to see, you know, see it. So I don't know what it was. But, oh yeah, there he goes. Yeah. Oh, that's quite a bug.
Oh yeah, he burnt his feet now.
Oh yeah, he's getting away from that.
So you
Well.
mentioned guys coming over from Elko. Was it?
Huh?
Did you say there were guys coming over from Elkford?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there a road that goes over into that
Yeah,
ravine?
over the pass down
Is it a
there.
lot further down or no?
Yeah, down a ways.
Okay. How many kilometers would you say?
Oh, not that far, but you gotta have a quad or a Jeep or something, eh?
Okay.
To get through. Well, anyway, Pip stayed around. He was a very, very well-educated man. And we didn't know it, and he didn't know that we knew his brother got killed on the island logging, and he come over, and I knew there was something bothering him, eh? And he wouldn't say what it was. So he was always at our place. And I didn't mind him, and he tried the horse business, and he had to get welfare. So they give him. Then when that run out, then he wanted to be a farrier, shoe horses. When that run out, then he wanted to be a cook. He had papers for Molly. That's where he lived. And there's a story that's hard to believe on this guy. In the wintertime, he had an Air Force survival toboggan. He was living up at 9 Mile, in the old horse barn. And he had a dog named Chico, black dog, come into the flats, get his check, buy his groceries and everything, load the dog up. Chico go home. Chico would go down across the bridge at Canal Flats, Kootenays, swing left and go up Johnson's Road, J2 Ranch Road, and he'd go up into 9 Mile, then down to the cabin where Pip was. And I said to him one day, "Where's Chico?" "Oh, he's going home, loaded." I said, "Aren't you worried? Going down them hills if he's going to maybe get tangled up? That sled tangle him up in a tree or something." He did not care. He'll be there waiting for me. So then I'd drive him up. Chico would be there, hooked up and everything on the sled. And him and Barb, before I get to that part, on this side of the Canal Flat Bridge on the right side, okay? He wanted me to go up to 9 Mile and load up the cabin. So I boarded a trailer and went up and hauled the old horse barn down for him, eh?
Okay.
Put it where he wanted it. And then him and Barb went to work and cleaned it up. Geez, there's a lot of stories there. And anyway, I went up. It was Friday night. I went to the bar and I got a dozen beer, had a couple of glasses, and went up to Pip's. And they were living in the horse barn then. They had an airtight heater. You know how they get so red? And so we were sitting there having a beer and BSing about Ira up to Finley in the cabin he did for in council. But I said to Pip and Barb, "Tonight you guys be extra special careful." "Well, why?" I said, "Chub." I called the kid Chub. "Chub's going to get burnt. Chub, something's going to happen with Chub. Don't let him around that stove." Well, in the morning I went back up to see what the hell was going on. The horse kicked the dog, killed the dog. The dog fell down and hung himself in the tree. Chub burnt himself on the stove. And holy Jesus, bang. Right out in front of the place, there's 2 head-ons. Or head-on, eh? 5 people killed. Yeah. And Pip says, "Mom and Dad's supposed to be here." I met his mom and dad, eh?
Yeah.
And they come and they said, "Son, we're sorry we're a little late because there was a bad accident in the park and people killed, eh?" It was unreal, eh? Yeah. But they got the nicest. Barb was hanging around Vancouver Island, around Parksville and that, around the horse racing ground or something. Now, she was one that knew everything. There wasn't a bloody thing that woman didn't know. So, geez, what a woman, eh? So, she gets this beautiful horse. Jesus, he was just more, they called him Sonny, but he was a stud. And beautiful. You can't imagine the color, nice kind of a tan color, 18?
Yeah.
No?
Over the gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen wild ones like that.
Well, I told Pip, you get that bugger cut. Because if you don't cut him, you're going to get in trouble. Oh, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Well, okay, but the guys that told me stories about it, like when they cut their feet and bad, the horses and that, you pee on it. If you didn't know the hoofs and that, eh? And that's true. And so Bill Stevenson, he come. Larry, where the hell is Pip? Well, as far as I know, he's up 9 Mile up the Kootenay. Well, you go get him and you tell him I'm going to shoot that son of a gun. What's wrong? That goddamn stud of his come down from the Kootenay, had part of the harness on him, and he broke my quell and jumped my mare, and I'm going to shoot him. He was mad. So I went up, and I think Bill did cut him, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Bill was so mad he cut him. He just threw him, and that was the end of it.
Oh, yeah?
And Barb was madder than hell, and
So how do you do it? You just
so
done?
they had Sonny up in Invermere, but on the left side, at the gravel pit before Invermere.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Sonny was in there, cut, and there was a couple other horses. And somebody come through with a trailer, and they weren't branded or anything, eh? And took them, I guess, to the slaughter. It was too bad, but oh, there's lots of stories. I got one hell of a memory, eh?
Yeah. No, it was good to talk to you. It was really good to talk to you.
I got a memory that's
A lot of different people can relate to this stuff, too. Not just you.
Norm Hawkins. He come from northern Manitoba. He had to bar at Tatter Creek, and he had I think it was a half of a moose. Well, that's a lot of meat. Them buggers are big, eh? And Tina and I had our own butcher shop, and our friend from the coast, Nick, and Mary, 6-inch walls, and he bought a lift of arborite for next to nothing because it had a chip, eh? So he come down hunting all the time with me and that, and so they arborited the whole deal, our butcher shop, eh? And you could wash it out, with the hose. And a nice thick door. I used a pretty good sized air conditioner, and I took all the fins off and put an elk in there at 5 o'clock at night, and the next night we could butcher it. It was not hardened up that much with 2 deer. You work good, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta dry it first.
But
We should head back to Invermere.
where you headed?
We gotta get back to Invermere by the end of the night. So I was saying to her, I wish we could camp up here for the night, but we've got a room already paid for, so
Yeah.
it's crazy to do it. But
Well, I got a tent here, and they're about.
we've got our
We've
stuff
got
in
all
our
our
car
stuff too.
Yeah, but we'll have to come back and do it another time. We're gonna go hiking up in Delphine Creek. We were gonna do,
Oh, yeah.
up near Panorama there.
Well, that'd be nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful up there. I've been
Yeah.
up once before, so I wanted to show her where
Yeah.
it's like.
Different.
Well, I give you quite a story.
I did. Yeah, quite a few. I'll have to go through it. It won't be, when I put the video together, it won't be straight. There'll be cuts. Because this thing stops every 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I'll have to go through the whole story and like make a storyline so I have everything straight. So that I don't get anything mixed up if I cut out a little bit of this or a little bit of that. So I'll keep the stories the same. Like they train me in journalism at school,
Yeah.
so I don't screw around with the truth. So
Like I say, I've been asked by a lot of people to do a book.
You really
And-
should. You're fascinating. Your
And,
story, your life.
And videos, because I got so many horror stories, eh? And good ones,
yeah,
and bad ones,
yeah.
and
It makes
I don't
me
think-
smile.
I don't think you could go through life without good and bad.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And,
That's what we learn.
we had one horse. We got him in Creston. I didn't want him because he was too bad. He floundered so bad, eh? And gee, just a big job, eh? Took me 2 years, eh? I had feet on him that long, and I got him back and take him down to blood and put his feet in boots, eh? And bleach and, well, look at that, Teen.
He was eating the corn. It's
I
drying
d-
out, eh?
I did that special for that bugger.
Now he's eating.
After I dried it, he'll eat it.
Yep.
Well, anyway, old Rusty, you know, he would do anything. People come over with a kid, want to go to the bar and have a cup of beer. Okay, we got to get a babysitter. I said, got one. Just get what you want and put them in the corral. And the Rusty, Buck, and
Spirit.
Spirit, and Sandy,
Sandy.
they would babysit. What we did for them horses and that, they showed their love for us. They would babysit. Could put a little kid in there like that, go to the bar 3-4 hours, come home. They'd be happier than hell, and the kids would pet the horses a bit. They could go to the trough, but they couldn't get in. Horses wouldn't let them get in.
Oh, that's good.
I'd come home. I was drinking pretty hard there for a while. I had too much going. And come home, a couple dozen beer, sit in the barn, bale of hay. The horses would come in and line up. Here, Buck, he'd have his beer. Here, Rusty. Here, Sandy. Here, Spirit. They would drink 3 beer
Payment.
3 beer each to my one, eh?
Drinking buddies, yeah.
And they were unreal, them. And it was so nice because I made, like Rita, Mom promised she would go riding with me, and she's with Grandma. So I made them carts and out of bicycle wheels, you know. And then I went a little bigger, and behind it there was a little ramp there, so they could throw their beer bottles in the box there, eh? And it was really nice to. It was something for the kids to do.
Yeah.
And all the kids were riding the horses, and Rita wouldn't tell me, eh? And I figured I'd get mad, eh?
Yeah.
I was just so happy, eh? Everybody was benefiting, eh? You know, it was nice. Really.
Yeah, I don't think about it. I didn't grow up around horses.
No.
No. We had a dog. I mean, people had dogs and cats, but not horses. Horses were, my dad liked horses.
Ours was trained for everything.
Oh, yeah.
Gymkhana,
I was coming in with a load.
just riding, just riding. They're all trained.
come off the Whiteswan, started up the highway, got up there a mile. There's a herd of elk crossing, a couple big bulls, eh? So I give her hell and I didn't stop at Stales. Went right home, grabbed the pickup, and I took Spirit.
Yeah.
I didn't have a coat or nothing with me, and I put the rifle in the scabbard, and Tina was driving, and I said, go, and nothing in the box, just the Spirit jumps in, and away we go. Get up there, and she jumps out, and I took off, and they were gone. So back up, jump into the pickup, go up the road a mile, back down, and I followed them buggers just about to Skookumchuck on the river.
Wow, they move fast.
And she'd cross the river, just trusted me, eh? And well, we didn't get an elk. Coming back, and the weather turned bad. They were blowing snow and cold, and couldn't see where to cross on the river and that. And she goes in and had a hole right up there, soaking wet and freezing. And well, I was like this on her, like that. And I just said, go home. She did. Yeah.
They were unreal.
Yeah, it brings back pretty hard memories. She stayed in the thick timber for me, eh? She said, yeah. Well, we had some good times,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and yeah,
Very,
I better end it.
okay. All right. We'll end it before you get too emotional. Thank you very much.
Very well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for doing it.